So you went looking for the best washing machine that money can buy, and you started reading. And somewhere in that reading, you found out there are two things real quick. Number one, the best of the best is going to cost some money. And number two, every list that you read kept coming back to the same two names, Speed Queen and Alliance Laundry Systems. Now stay with me because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which Speed Queen is going to fit your house. I'll tell you right now, there's one model in the lineup that most people walk right past, even though it's the one that they actually need. I mean, I'm going to get to that. So welcome back to Harper and Knowles. I'm Chip, and today we're walking through the entire Speed Queen residential lineup. Top loaders, front loaders, the stack combo unit, the whole thing. Now, I'm not paid by Speed Queen. I don't get a kickback from Alliance Laundry. Nobody at Ripon, Wisconsin even knows who I am. But every time some dimwit drops into my comments accusing me of running an advertisement for them or being on their payroll, I got to come back and say it again. I'm not. I'm a guy in a repair shop who fixes machines for a living and tells you what I see. Every time I do a video on one of these Speed Queen models, the comments fill up with the same questions over and over. What about the other models? So today we're going to cover all of them in just one shot. If you've never heard of Alliance Laundry Systems, that's the parent company. Now, Speed Queen is their consumer brand, and they also build under Unimac, Hoops, Ipso, and Primus. And the same factory that makes the washer running 60 loads a day at the laundromat down the street from your house also makes the one that's sitting in your laundry room. And that's the whole story. That's why Speed Queen exists. The machines were built first to take customer abuse in a laundromat. The coins jammed in slots, overloaded with 20 pounds of comforters that run 23 hours a day, never get cleaned, never get oiled, and they still have to be running 10 years later. And then they took the guts of those and they put them in the residential cabinet. It's got the same heart, different paint job. That's why the folks who own these machines turn into what I lovingly call the Speed Queen cult. You buy one, your washer lasts 18 years. Your neighbor's brand new fancy front loader from the other big box brands dies at year 4. Suddenly you're the guy at the cookout telling everyone that they need to drive past Best Buy and find an actual appliance dealer. You become a member. So welcome. Now let me get to the part where the haters show up. Anytime I post Speed Queen video, the comments fill up with 3 complaints. I want to deal with them right now so we can get to the lineup. Complaint number 1, the tubs are too small. And they are. A Speed Queen top loader is 3.2 cubic feet. Your neighbor's Whirlpool is 5.3. That's a real number difference. But here's what you need to understand. Speed Queen made that choice on purpose. A smaller tub means the agitator actually has water and clothes to grab. The agitator pushes the fabric through the water the way it's supposed to. When you stuff 20 pounds of clothes into a 5 cubic foot drum with 2 inches of water in it, you don't have a washing machine. You have a clothes sprinkler. Now, Speed Queen would rather move less laundry and clean it than move more laundry and rinse it. And that's the trade. You don't have to like it, but that's the choice they made. And complaint number 2, the dials are electronic. They're not analog like the old machines. And that's half right and that's half wrong. The TR series, that's the TR3, TR5, TR7, those have electronic controls. The TR7 is fully digital with a screen, but the TC5 still uses tactile rotary knobs on the front. Cycle dial, temperature dial, soil level, no touchscreen, no menus to scroll, no settings buried 3 layers deep. Now I'm going to be straight with you because somebody in the comments is going to bring it up if I'm not. Pop the control panel off TC5 and yes, there's an electronic board underneath the knobs. That's true of every appliance built today, including the ones that look mechanical. The difference is what the customer touches. On the TC5, the customer touches dials. Cycle dial, temperature dial, soil dial, that's it. If you cannot stand the idea of a touchscreen washer, the TC5 was brought back in 2021 because of you. They heard you. That's the model they kept in the lineup for you specifically. Complaint number 3, they're made in America, but the parts come from somewhere else. So I dug into this one pretty hard because it's the complaint that bothers me the most. Speed Queen's main plant is in Ripon, Wisconsin. 221 Shepherd Street, Ripon, Wisconsin. Same property since 1908. They opened a second plant in Manitowoc, Wisconsin in 2019, 330,000 square feet. It used to be a crane factory. The folks who toured the Ripon plant said practically every metal and plastic part on the Speed Queen washer is fabricated right there in-house. Steel goes in one side of the plant, finished washer cabinets come out the other side. The motors are built on site. The electronic control boards are assembled on site. Now, somebody in the comments is going to point out that the individual components on those boards, the resistors, the capacitors, the microchips themselves, they come from electronic components suppliers, and a lot of those suppliers are overseas. Well, that's correct. And it's correct for every American-made piece of electronics on the planet. Your iPhone, your Tesla, your John Deere tractor, the avionics on a Boeing, every single one of them pulls components from a global supply chain. There isn't a chip foundry left in Wisconsin. There isn't one in Texas making the kind of small run controllers a washer needs. Speed Queen does the board level assembly, the system integration, the burn-in testing, and the quality control. That happens in Wisconsin by Wisconsin workers. That's as domestic as electronic manufacturing is going to get in 2026. Now, where does the foreign part come in on the rest of the machine? Alliance has plants in the Czech Republic, in Thailand, and they also have one in China. And those plants build machines for international markets. Some subcomponents on the residential machines, the wire harness, certain plastics, specific fasteners, they do come from outside suppliers. But the choice isn't made on what costs the least. It's made on what hits the quality bar. If a Wisconsin supplier can't deliver a wiring harness to spec, Alliance will source it from a supplier that can, wherever that supplier is. The brand wouldn't last 117 years on cost-cut parts. Now, 2,700 Americans go to work every day at those Wisconsin facilities. That's quality jobs in a quality town in a quality state. So when somebody says they're not really American because a bolt comes from somewhere else, I want you to ask them where their pickup truck was assembled and what's under the hood. Almost nothing in America is 100% domestic anymore, but it should be. Now, Speed Queen is more domestic than almost anything else you can buy. That's the honest answer. Okay, the lineup time. There are 3 groups. We're going to go through each one, and at the end I'll lay out the profile so you can match yourself to a machine. And the first group is the SF7 stacked washer dryer. Now, there's 4 versions depending on color and fuel. The white electric is the SF7008WE. The white gas unit is SF7008WG. Matte black electric is SF7008BE, and the matte black gas is SF7008BG. They're 27 inches wide. They're 3.5 cubic foot washer on the bottom and 7 cubic foot dryer on the top. You have a PET Plus cycle, sanitized with Oxy, steam refresh on the dryer side, 5-year warranty. Retail runs about $4,800 to $5,200 depending on the configuration. Now, this unit shares the exact same washer guts as Speed Queen's FF7 front loader paired with a DF7 dryer. They're just bolted into a vertical stack. So you're getting full-size laundry capability and a footprint that fits in a closet. Now, the profile for this one is the condo owners, the ADU builders, that's mother-in-law houses, the apartment renovators, anyone with a tight laundry room. Reviews online are mixed. Most of them love them. A handful had door latch errors right out of the crate. If you get one, plug it in the day it arrives and run a wash cycle before the installer leaves. You can catch a problem early. Now, the second group is the top loaders. This is where most folks start when they think of Speed Queen. They have 4 current models in this lineup, the TC5 and the 3 TR siblings. The TC5003WN is the classic. They brought it back in 2021 because the cult lost its mind when Speed Queen redesigned their top load washers in 2018. It has 3.2 cubic foot stainless steel tub, has a 0.5 horsepower variable speed motor, 710 RPM spin. It has a dual action agitator that moves independently of the tub. That's important. The tub stays still while the agitator does the work. The agitator runs off a transmission connected directly to the motor, which is the pre-2018 Speed Queen design. Tactile rotary knobs has 6 cycles, 4 temperature selections, no lid lock, and it goes for about $1,100. It has 5-year parts and labor warranty. If you walk into your grandmother's basement in 1995 and used her Speed Queen, that's the wash action you're going to get with the TC5. And the Speed Queen Cult buys this one. Now the TR series, TR3006WN, TR5006WN, and TR7006WN. All three share the same body and the same wash action. They use what Speed Queen calls the perfect wash. The 2018 snafu I kept mentioning, that was this. In 2018, the Department of Energy passed new efficiency rules. And Speed Queen had to redesign the top loader to hit the new water and energy numbers. And they combined the agitator and the tub so that they moved together as one piece. And they added a sensor-based wash. They changed the cycle times and the cult exploded. The new machines didn't clean as well at first. Consumer Reports trashed them. The forums lit up. Speed Queen heard it, added 20 minutes to the wash agitation portion of the cycle, and the cleaning numbers came back up. But the loyalists never came back to it. And that's why the TC5 exists today. Speed Queen kept the modern design for the buyers who wanted gentler clothes care and the federal compliance. And they brought back the classic for the buyers who wanted the old machine. Now, between the three TRs, the differences are cycles and warranty. The TR3 is the base rotary knob controls, basic cycle set, 3-year warranty. The TR5 adds cycles and they adds a cool temperature option, adds a hand wash and a spin only, and it bumps the warranty to 5 years. Now the TR7 is going to be the flagship of this line. It has the digital screen, 8 cycles, PET Plus, ultra quiet operation, delayed lid lock, and the industry's best 7-year warranty on parts and in-home labor. About $1,600 for one of these if you want a top loader with a modern wash action, and the longest warranty on the market. That's going to be your TR7. Now, real quick before we get to the front loaders, none of these machines hit 25 years without maintenance. And Speed Queen builds them to last, but you still got to do the work. On the top loaders, that means wiping down the upper tub once a month, checking the fill hose screens twice a year, running the tub clean cycle on a regular schedule, and listening for bearing noise so you can catch a problem early. On the front loaders, there's a drain pump filter behind the kick panel that needs cleaning every couple months, plus wiping the door gasket dry after every load to keep the smell from starting. Now, I put together a washer maintenance guide that walks through every checkpoint on a top load, front load washer step by step. Same routine I run in the shop on customer machines. It's on my Gumroad page. Scan the QR code on the screen right now, or the link's going to be in the description below. That'll save you a service call somewhere down the road. And now let's get to the third group, the front loader, FF7. 3.5 cubic foot stainless steel drum, commercial grade inverter drive, 1 horsepower motor. Your competitor's front loader is running a smaller motor with residential grade components. It has a dynamic balancing system, PET Plus cycle, sanitized cycle, fast cycle times, and I mean fast for a front loader, which is a category that normally takes 90 minutes a load. The Speed Queen front loaders finish in under an hour on a normal cycle. Now you can have a 22-pound load capacity, which is the same capacity as the commercial front loaders. Now the FF7 puts the controls on the front face of the machine. It has a more modern look, and it's easier to read when the laundry basket is in your hands. So it has a 5-year warranty. Now here's the part that I want you to actually hear. A lot of folks walk into an appliance store wanting a Speed Queen, and they immediately walk to the top loaders because that's the cult. The TC5 sits there looking like it came out of 1980, and they fall in love with it. They walk out with a TC5 and they're going to be happy. Fine. But if you have a family of 4, if everyone changes clothes more than once a day, if you do 6 loads a week, if you wash bed sheets every Sunday, the FF7 is going to serve your house better than any top load Speed Queen makes. There's a bigger load, faster cycles, lower water bill, same commercial guts, same Wisconsin factory. That's the model that most people walk right past on their way to the top loader section. And it's the one that I end up recommending to families more often than anything else in the lineup. So let me line these up by profile so you can pick what you'd like. For a single person or a couple in an apartment or a condo with a tight laundry room, you'll want the full-size capability without the full-size footprint. So the FS7 stacked unit, done. Traditional washer person, you want a knob, you want an agitator, you want the wash action you grew up with. You don't trust touch screens. TC5, done. Top load person, but you're okay with modern controls and you want a gentler wash on clothes. 3 options on the warranty and price: the TR3 for entry, TR5 for the middle ground, and the TR7 if you want the 7-year warranty and the quiet operation. If you have a family of 3 or more, 6 or more loads a week, you wash bedding regularly, and you want fast cycle times, you want the longest life machine in the lineup, the FF7 front loader. There's a couple of things to keep in mind no matter which model you pick. 1, don't overload. Speed Queen tubs are size smaller than the competition on purpose. If you stuff it, you defeat the wash action and you cook the bearings early. And 2, you run the tub clean cycle on a schedule. Once a month on top loaders, once a week on the front loaders. The front loader door gasket holds water, and that's where the smell starts. Now 3, if you're on city water, leave the supply valves open between loads. If you're on well water, shut those things off between loads to protect the inlet valve from pressure spikes. And for number 4, we're not talking about washers anymore. The lint filter on your dryer that you're going to pair these with, you need to clean that every load. And the exhaust vent, you need to clean that every year minimum. If you're in a long vent install every 6 months, it needs to be cleaned out. Now, the maintenance guide on Gumroad has the full schedule and the parts list. Link in the description if you want it. The Speed Queen residential lineup is the smallest in the industry. That's it. That's by design. Every model in the lineup hits a specific household profile, and they don't pad the catalog with junk to fill shelf space. You buy one of these, you keep it 18, 20, 25 years if you do the maintenance, and you never think about washers again. That's the brand. That's why the cult exists, and that's why every laundromat owner I know stocks them. And that's why every time I post a Speed Queen video, the comments fill with questions about the other models. Hopefully that's covered now. If you've got a specific question on a model that I didn't dig into deep enough, drop it in the comments and I'll try to get to it in the next video. That's all for now. I'm Chip with Harper Knowles, and I am out.